welcome
Thank you.
to the live stream. Welcome
Thank you
to
so
the
much
event.
for having us. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for coming. Tell us a little bit about Holy Kombucha for the two people in the audience who don't know.
Yeah, Holy Kombucha is, we're from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. It was founded 5 years ago, and we, since the very beginning, we thought about owning our backyard and really go deeper instead of wide. So it's me and another partner, Teresa Pham, family-owned company. So we've been blessed with this product, and we got tremendous success in the South. Finally, we're kind of like leaving Texas, getting into California and Colorado. So lots of good stuff happening to us right now.
And so talk a little bit about like transcending a local, your sort of local, being a local brand and moving concentric circles away from where you are. What kind of things as a founder are you thinking about, in terms of production and branding, and how do you know what to focus on?
Well, it's definitely been a bumpy ride. We took a very small investment a couple of years back. We go against a lot of amazing brands that are heavily funded. So we gotta pick our battles and be very strategic about what markets we try to do and how to do it. Since we don't have huge budgets for demos and sales and things like that. So the whole going deep, man, owning kind of like our backyard and trying to see what people thought of the product and the flavors. We found quickly that people in other states or flavor profiles resonated very well, or kind of like the blood orange and prickly pear, very unique flavors that nobody else had. So that helped us tremendously. So it's hard to see where you're gonna put a small budget, how you're gonna put it to work. But we did great in our state. And some of the store chains have, allow us to cross the borders of Texas and go to other states. So it's nerve-wracking because you don't know how people is going to react to the product in other states. Knock on wood, it's been doing great. We try to put the emphasis on the product itself. We want the product to have its own voice and being out there doing all the marketing. Sometimes we feel like there are little soldiers that are out there because, definitely we're not, our budget's not that big to do a lot of promotions and things like that. Sure. So we believe we have a very approachable and friendly brand.
I think you do too, and I'd like to talk about that for a minute here because Holy Kombucha is a brand, the branding is phenomenal, the packaging is phenomenal.
Appreciate
it's a brand that I would say, and I've been using this term a lot, punches above its weight.
Yep.
I think it stands up in a category next to some very strong brands.
Oh, correct, yes.
GT's, Health Aid, Hum, Revive, Brew Doctor, and you put Holy Kombucha right next to that. How do you, how do you differentiate in that? But also, what are the cues that you need to have to make sure that you're also, in that same space as the rest of that crew, as the kombucha space grows? We're
kind of like perceived as friendly and approachable, so people don't hesitate kind of to grab the bottle and give it a try. But at the same time, we're very honest about our process and how we do the kombucha. We do it not very differently than we did it 5 years ago. A lot of people think in our state that we're bigger than what we really are, but we still do it in small batches like everybody else. We have a very craft process about it. There is no heavy machinery or anything like that. So we put a lot of care to the product. I think that kind of like differentiates us a little bit because our taste profile is, you're getting real kombucha, but at the same time, it's not, kind of like the taste profile too vinegary or too sweet or too sour. So I think that helps us a lot. We honor every time we get to be right next to GT's, Health Aid. All those guys are tremendous people, amazing companies. They have grown 4 or 5 folds in the last couple of years. So we look up to them, and it's motivational for us to be right next to them.
And so you're trying to grow within the kombucha space, but you're also trying to grow the kombucha space. And is kombucha the soda killer that everybody thinks it is?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, a lot of people have been saying that for years. It definitely have got more mainstream. When we started it, a lot of people in our hometown didn't know much about it, of kombucha. You're talking about 5 years ago. There was brands already there. Some people thought they were too vinegary. I love kombucha and I love all the kombuchas. I actually drink most of the brands weekly.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, why not? I think, I don't know if it's the soda killer, but it's a great alternative to it. Especially, a product that's raw, that it doesn't have any concentrates or dyes or anything bad, like kombucha, at least like ours. So I think it's a great alternative, and I think it's going to keep on growing.
So you're a small team right now, who
yes.
Again it looks like a very big team, and you're in several states, and your distribution is growing. As you grow your team, what kinds of things are you thinking about? How are you going to maintain the culture that you've created with your co-founder at this point, as you go from a small company towards a 100-person company towards maybe 1,000-person company?
Correct. Our executive team is very small, as you say. Our production team is very big, and that's what we put all of our money and effort, because we think that if we don't have a great product, then you can do a lot of marketing, you can put dollars everywhere, but the product will fall off the shelf.
Yeah.
So we got that right at the beginning, and again, we haven't get a big investment yet. So we look for honesty and transparency in everybody we hire. We have an attitude that we don't take no for an answer. Everybody knows us in Texas as we go through walls. We hustle. So and as a small company, small kombucha, if I would look around and see everybody that got raised $20 million today, somebody else raised $20 million tomorrow, a lot of people might go, well, I got to throw the towel. For us, that's motivating. That is what the category is going, and we think we can get there. So we're going to look for people that have the same attitude about life and business that we do.
You've created some unique flavors. We have hibiscus sangria in front of us. I had blood orange earlier. There's a prickled pear.
Prickly pear, yes.
Prickly pear, which I really enjoy. Your flavors are unique, and how do you go about creating the flavors? Is it all through, you're doing it in some skunkworks laboratory somewhere, or
Well, the blood orange is our big kind of like seller. I grew up drinking blood orange sodas because my father is Italian. So to me, blood orange flavor was a non-brainer. Prickly pear, we had tons of...
Blood orange is one of those flavors that can just take over, too. I tried blood orange myself as just a home brewer of a kombucha, which I'm, obviously I'm not trying to play with you, but but it can take over. How do you perfect that,
I mean, I'm the one to do the flavors, so I don't use any formulator or anything like that. So we do a lot of trial and error. We give, the way we do it is we launch it on kegs, and we see the reaction around town in our keg accounts. So we know when we have a number one, when we have done it. So, even the yerbucha line, which is yerba mate, is kombucha made with yerba mate, has been doing phenomenal. And, it's kind of like that energy in kombucha helps. Right. And, How
did you know to go in? I mean, how did you know to branch off with yerba mate?
Well, again,
experiment?
I grew up drinking yerba mate because I'm from Argentina, so yerba mate to me is like second nature. So I thought, why not brew kombucha entirely with yerba mate? Believe it or not, it makes some beautiful white pearl scobies. So, anybody that's hesitant about doing a home brew with yerba mate, try it because it's phenomenal. And the taste profile is delicious, and we thought, why not?
2 seconds remaining. Is Argentina going to win the World Cup?
Of course.
Leo, great to have you on.
Thank you so much.
So grateful to have you here.